Death by honey. Who knows what evil lurks under that lid on your jar of honey?
I read a note on the back of a jar of honey I had bought from Walgreens that said, "Do not feed honey to infants less than 1 year old." I thought, how can this be right? All I ever heard about honey was what a wonderful food it was and how good it was for you. And now, don't let infants near it? This piqued my curiosity, and I started to search for information on what dangers there might be in eating honey. There must be some research out there on potential hazards in honey, just in the fact that bees are such good dust collectors. So I'd like to find out whatever I can about why honey might not be so good for you. Honey is a natural product that is widely used for both nutritional and medicinal purposes. Honey, like other foods, is prone to various types of contaminations and adulterations. Markets are full of unlabeled and adulterated honeys. Microbial and non microbial contaminants, which include pesticides, herbicides, antibiotics, or heavy metals, have been reported in various honey samples all over the world. Raw honey that was not subjected for analysis or sterilization should not be given to infants. Does honey contain botulism? Honey may contain botulism spores, which can lead to botulism poisoning. There are some areas in the country, the United States, where the possible contamination of honey with botulism spores is higher due to the soil. Soil contains botulism spores, bacteria, and the flora that bees used to feed on grows in that soil. Also, disturbed soil containing the spores may directly settle upon hives, for example, and thus the spores themselves could contaminate the honey as well. Honey is mostly consumed in raw form, is typically not pasteurized, sterilized, or radiated. Even pasteurized honey can contain botulism spores and should not be given to children under the age of 12 months. Adults can handle a small amount of botulinum spores easier than babies. In adults, the amount of botulism spores ingested, if any, from honey is really quite negligible because we have mature intestines. The intestines of an adult contain enough acids to counteract the production of toxins the botulism bacteria produce. Once an infant reaches the age of 1 year or older, their intestines have a balance of acids that help destroy and fight off any toxins that the botulism bacteria produce. Can my baby eat baked goods with honey? The botulism spores can only be killed by the high heat which can be obtained in a pressure canner. The toxin that is produced in anaerobic conditions can only be destroyed by boiling. So technically, honey is not only safe for infants, even in cooked forms such as in baked foods like breads. Botulism spores will not be destroyed during and under household cooking methods and temperatures. Why babies should not eat honey? And when is honey safe for your baby? Commonly asked question when it comes to foods for infants is about giving babies honey. Honey should never be given to a child under the age of 12 months old. In fact, the American Academy of Pediatrics advises that honey should not be added to food, water, or formula that is fed to infants younger than 12 months of age. This technically applies even to honey in baked or processed food goods. The AAP statement says for raw or unpasteurized honey, infants younger than 12 months should avoid all sources of honey. However, there are many who feel that honey is really not a danger to babies because, in one form or another, honey has been given to babies well under the age of 12 months old. There are many cultures that continue to give babies honey almost from birth and incorporate it early into a baby's diet. While it may be overly conservative and cautious against giving a baby under 12 months of age honey, it's recommended that you thoroughly discuss this with your pediatrician. A potential test question from this presentation could be: honey should not be given to infants less than 1 year old because, one, honey contains unfiltered bee parts like legs and wings that could cause infants to choke. Two, pesticide residue foragers bring back to the hive with their nectar loads that end up as honey may cause sudden infant death syndrome. 3. Honey may contain botulism spores, which are harmful to infants less than 1 year old. 4. Studies found that elevated sugar levels in infants less than 1 year old who have ingested honey have proven to interfere with baby sleep patterns and can lead to higher incidences of autism. The correct answer to that would be 3. Honey may contain botulism spores, which are harmful to infants less than 1 year old.